Crystal Sorey says the last time she saw her daughter Harmony was in the spring of 2019 during a FaceTime call with Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery.
What was the last FaceTime like during Easter of 2019?
Chaotic. He kept muting it. She just looked terrified and lost. Her whole entire body language had shifted in 2 months of him having me. She went from being like my happy, like talkative, funny, sassy little girl to a shell of Harmony.
Does it break your heart to think about that FaceTime?
Every minute.
Now, investigators continue to search an apartment building in Manchester, New Hampshire, in connection with the Harmony Montgomery case. A few hours ago, investigators were seen taking a bunch of evidence, including a refrigerator that they had brought in earlier in the day. Harmony's father and stepmother used to live at that apartment building.
December 31st, 2021, right before the New Year's. Some people make New Year's resolutions. Some people wish for a better life. Some people set goals that they're working towards. However, this year would be different for Manchester. December 31st of 2021 for Manchester would have one New Year's resolution, and that would be to bring a young girl who goes by the name of Harmony Montgomery home. Home can be a beautiful space. It can be a safe haven for some. It can be somewhere to relax your mind, but for some, home is nothing short of hell. Harmony was born to parents Crystal Sorey and Adam Montgomery. Those two were troubled at the least. They both had run-ins with the law. They both had substance addiction, and it really created a very bad whirlwind of trauma for Harmony. Harmony was described as a sweet young girl. She had glowing eyes. She had a great laughter. She was what some call chaotic, one of the children who like to bounce off of the walls, they can't sit still, but to everyone around her, Harmony was a light. But for some, that light just wasn't enough, such as her mother Crystal. By the time that Harmony was age 4, Crystal had already gotten her taken away 3 times. 3 separate times for abusing drugs. Harmony did have a little brother, but due to the substance addiction, he was also taken out of the home and eventually adopted. Harmony and her brother would spend the majority of their early years in and out of foster care. The state always seems to find a way to place these children back with the parents, because after all, when it is the biological parent, if it seems they're walking on a straight arrow, they are rewarded back their children. Now, Crystal was estranged from her ex-boyfriend, Adam Montgomery. Now, eventually Crystal would lose custody to Adam Montgomery, and Adam Montgomery would be rewarded full custody of Harmony. But that was before the state did its checks, because Adam was no saint himself. He had his fair share of trouble with the law, and by others' account, he too struggled with addiction. In the year of 2019, Adam would have full custody, but it would be this year that things would get chaotic. Things would change. This would be the year that Harmony would go missing, technically. And you're gonna find out why I use the word technically in a moment. Well, Crystal Sorey says that the last time that she talked to her daughter would be just a few days short of Easter in the year of 2019. But after that, she never hears from her daughter again. So time begins to elapse. And I mean, it really begins to elapse because, see, Harmony was missing for almost 2 years before anyone even recognized it. It would be September of 2021 when a close friend of Crystal Sorey would contact DCYF. So DCYF tries to get in contact with Adam Montgomery. After all, he is the one who has full custody. After failing to reach Harmony, they reported to the police. So by December of 2021, the police are now actively looking for Harmony. 2 years later, the police would hold a press briefing detailing that Harmony is missing and she needs to be found.
And he is leading all investigative matters for the police department. I want to begin by thanking all of you for coming today. Your continued interest in locating 7-year-old Harmony Montgomery is appreciated and is essential to this investigation. As you know, more than 2 years has passed since Harmony was last seen. That puts us at a disadvantage, and the public's help is greatly needed. That being said, we are announcing today the creation of a dedicated tip line for this case. As you can see on the boards in front of me, that number is 603-203-6060. I say again, 603-203-6060. That phone number will be manned by one of our juvenile detectives 24/7. Tips can come in by phone or by text, either one. This will not be an extension that sends callers immediately to a voicemail. This will be monitored by a detective at all times so we can gather tips and act on them immediately. In addition to that phone number I just mentioned, the Manchester Crime Line is offering $2,500 reward, the most allowed through that organization for tips that lead to Harmony being found. Normally, Crime Line rewards are for information regarding crimes. I'd like to emphasize that the Crime Line has made an exception and has generously made that exception for this missing child case. Additionally, local businessmen Dick Anignos and Arthur Sullivan have also offered $10,000 for tips that lead to Harmony being found. I want to personally thank the Crime Line, Mr. Anignos and Mr. Sullivan, for their generous actions on behalf of finding Harmony.
Now, before we go any further, I want you to understand that for 2 full years, her mother didn't look for her. That's birthdays, holidays, any kind of day that you could imagine that is family oriented. Her mother just wasn't looking for her. And another problem about this story is that Harmony was in and out of foster care. So, DCYF was supposed to be watching over her, making sure that whatever environment she was in was suitable for her needs. However, DCYF never even looked for Harmony until Crystal's friend came forward with the information that she hasn't seen her daughter. So with this newfound information, the only thing to do next is go and find Adam. So they get to looking for Adam. At first they can't find him, but they do eventually catch up with him. When they find Adam, he's sleeping in his car, but Harmony wasn't around. So Adam is questioned about his daughter's whereabouts, but he tells the police that he dropped Harmony off at his mother's house Thanksgiving of 2019. But Adam had a wife. Only Adam told his wife that he also dropped off Harmony at Crystal's home.
Crystal Story says the last time she saw her daughter Harmony was in the spring of 2019 during a FaceTime call with Harmony's father, Adam Montgomery.
What was the last FaceTime like during Easter of 2019?
Chaotic. He kept muting it. She just looked terrified and lost. Her whole entire body language had shifted in 2 months of him having her. She went from being like my happy, like talkative, funny, sassy little girl to a shell of Harmony.
Does it break your heart to think about that FaceTime?
Every minute.
Because that was the last time you saw her.
Yeah, and I just wish that I could have said more to her, I just wish that I could have said to her, no matter what Daddy says to you, no matter what he does, I will never stop fighting for you. Never.
So at this point, it seems that Adam is giving everyone the runaround. The night that the police found Adam and questioned him, he would also be arrested. Those charges would be for second-degree assault, as well as child endangerment. So now that Adam is incarcerated, they get to questioning the family and friends around them, and Harmony's uncle would detail that he witnessed Adam basically beating Harmony, said that he bashed her around the home, forced her to stand inside of the corner for hours, and even made her scrub the toilet with her toothbrush. With these details, it would only make things harder, and things begin to look dark for Harmony because with telling details like those, there's no telling what Adam could have done. So the police spring into action. They announce a reward. They're looking for any type of hope that Harmony is still around. So during the process, they find out that although Adam was legally married, he was separated from his wife and he had a girlfriend. Her name was Kelsey Smalls. When the police questioned Kelsey, she says that she knew that he was married and he had kids, but Adam never mentioned Harmony to her, and they had only been together for a year. But the police aren't buying it. They feel that deep down inside, Kelsey knows more than she's telling. But Kelsey gave her testimony, so the police kind of fall back. They begin to search areas, circle back to family and friends with the questions, but they were still holding on to the fact that Kelsey might know more information, and they were hoping that she would be their ace in the hole. However, things would turn dark again, because Kelsey Smalls would be discovered in her hotel room, dead.
According to court documents, Kelsey Small told police she was romantically involved with Adam Montgomery for more than a year. Kelsey told detectives she was aware Adam had 4 children with 2 women, but said Adam never mentioned Harmony Montgomery at all. Kelsey Small is not implicated in any way in Harmony's disappearance, but there was hope she might have information from Adam that she might eventually share. Kelsey's cousin released a statement through a spokesperson that says, quote, "She was so much more than that, and I hate that one of her last connections here on Earth was to him." News 9 obtained Goffstown police records that reveal Kelsey was arrested outside a sober home where she was living, charged with DUI second offense. She was released on bail. 5 days later, she was found dead in a hotel room.
And Kelsey Small's death is not considered suspicious. We're live in Manchester this evening. Amy Cavino, WMUR News.
Now, the police do detail that they don't think foul play is involved, so with Adam being addicted to substances, I'm kind of guessing that Kelsey probably overdosed. So now the person who was with Adam for the last year before he was incarcerated is gone, and they're back at square one. The only thing they have to bring them hope is a $144,000 reward open to the public, and that reward is steadily growing. The only question that remains is, where is Harmony Montgomery? Adam isn't talking. His mother, well, in my opinion, just didn't care enough if she let her daughter be missing for 2 full years before her friend then had to go to DCYF and speak on her behalf. So things are looking pretty bad right now. Harmony was a bright soul. She undoubtedly was born into chaos. She undoubtedly suffered a lot. But her family and friends think that she is still alive, and they believe that Harmony could have possibly been sold for drugs. I'm not sure how feasible that is, seeing that, the uncle did testify that he was basically beating her. So it could go either way at this point. All we can do at this point is keep faith in our hearts and hope that she returns home. If you have any information pertaining to this case, please call or text 603-203-6060. Again, that number is 603-203-6060. There is a reward out. Please do not hesitate to contact the authorities. If you knew Adam, if you knew a mother, if you knew Kelsey Smalls, if you knew anyone in that circle, if you have any type of information, please come forth so we can bring Harmony home. That's anything, no matter how small you may feel that detail may be. Listen to me, cases are solved all the time off the smallest details. You may have seen something, you may have heard something. Regardless of what it was, come forth. Please do the right thing. Someone out there has to know something.